auditioned for a film, and I got it. I auditioned for the next film, and I got it. It just kind of. But what I would do,
And strangely, the audition process disappeared.
But it was something, when I started working on Taps, actually, it was an incredible, really formative experience for me, because we spent a lot of time rehearsing. We had weeks to prepare. We had Stanley Jaffe, who had just won the Oscar for Kramer versus Kramer. We had Timothy Hutton, incredible actor in Ordinary People. He just won the Oscar for that. And Sean Penn, that was his first feature film. These great actors, and Harold Becker, the director, and we had Owen Roisman, was a cinematographer. And I thought, if I never get another opportunity to make a movie, at least I want to know how they're made. And I was one of those guys that I would go to every single department and just ask a million questions and study. You know, from Owen Roisman, we were talking about lenses. You know, I'm on a movie set, I'm looking at the lights at night and marks. I didn't really understand all of that stuff. You know, and Harold Becker, the director, I was 18 years old, and I was on the parade ground. It's a scene, I play a military guy, and I just never forget, on the parade ground, there's, I don't know, maybe 1,000 people out there, and I just hear him yelling across the field, you know, "Cruz!" And I said, "Yes, sir, yes, sir." He goes, "Can you see the camera?" I said, "No, sir." He goes, "Well, if you don't see the camera can't see you. You want to be in the picture?" I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "Get on your mark." I was like, "Okay, yes, sir, yes, sir." So I knew at that point, okay, you're not on your mark, you're not going to be in the picture. So, but it was an amazing experience, because they knew how much I loved movies, and at that time I was offered by Harold Becker and Stanley Jaffe to go in and actually see rushes, and they made selects for me, and people were very generous to educate me and teach me and let me learn, and so that, you know, and I just did that with every single movie, and eventually you start making enough of them, you start finding your own voice and stories, and what I like about stories and characters.
Well, and that led to your producing career as well, because you know every department's job, you've seen it, you've been in there firsthand.
Yeah, it was actually Stanley Jaffe. Mission Impossible was the very first film I ever produced, and Stanley Jaffe was running Paramount at the time, and Sherry Lansing was there, and Sherry and Stanley I met when I was doing Taps, when I was, you know, and they were also Sherry, both of them incredible people, and Sherry Lansing, just an amazing woman. And they said, "Look, do you want to come over and direct?" You know, I was offered things to direct, and I wanted to act, and I always thought, well, kind of the next level will be me producing, and I could learn more and more about things like that. And so Mission Impossible was the very first film that I ever produced.